we see that Donald Trump calls Europe to realize pressure on China, but at the same way, Donald Trump makes another things concerning China and Xi Jinping. Trump told that he just completed a very productive call with President Xi of China. We made progress on many very important issues, including trade, fentanyl, the need to bring the war between Russia and Ukraine to an end, and the approval of the TikTok deal. I also agreed with Chinese president we would meet at the APEC summit in South Korea, that I would go to China in the early part of next year, and that President Xi would likewise come to the United States at an appropriate time. The call was a very good one. We will be speaking again by phone. Appreciate the TikTok approval and both look forward to meeting at that summit. So, Yuri, it's like a conversation between two good friends. But Trump says that China can stop Russian-Ukrainian war, but European Union should take pressure on China. So I don't understand this line of steps.
I think it's becoming more and more clear that President of the United States is not interested in having truly adversarial relations with China, and he really doesn't trust other democratic countries and states and views them as more of somebody that has a different set of values than he does. It always looks suspicious to me that the concerns that former President Biden had about China distancing itself from the United States with the arrival of President Trump, because there would be such conflict between the two. Because Donald Trump and any other authoritarian wannabe authoritarian leader is they really see a point in getting along, because they have a lot in common, and also because they have the same strategy, which is regional dominance. And if you have this if you have United States that is basically trying to flex its muscles at China, and China which flexes its muscles at United States, that just proves to all the countries around that they need to pick a side. They need to be either with China or with the United States, and then those are the countries that are going to be kind of deciding their fates and controlling them, and that's how it works. This is a scenario that I think works well for Xi and works reasonably, works well for Trump, both of them for now, but I think that's part of the regionalization of this planet that they seem to be going for, as this Yalta 2 or whatever you want to call it, arrangement. The other part is actual trade war and a TikTok war that we have with China, which is really indicative of the problems that we're having. Because when it comes to TikTok, we're speaking about a software program platform that's actually been banned in the United States. And it's only because President Trump told Attorney General not to enforce this law, which apparently is okay, that we continue to have TikTok in the United States. So thank you, President Trump. And the reason that they came up with this was because this is to buy it out of Chinese hands, because, there's this national security, TikTok, so much data. But now we see that basically this is an opportunity for some kind of a semi-socialist scheme where crony socialism, where we have friends and corporations friendly to the president who are looking to become new owners of this Chinese money maker machine that is currently being traded at barely what it's actually worth, while all these other companies are trading at many, many times what they're worth when we're talking about social media, as well as other companies that are considered popular. Basically, it's a wonderful way to make a lot of money. So because right now it's under Chinese control, let's get it over here. Okay, so that problem they're going to resolve. But then there's actual national security data that is the issue. Well, Donald Trump is really looking at leaving that in Chinese hands to begin with. So this is an opportunity for some people to make money and for other people to continue to get data about Americans. But that's really where Donald Trump's mind seems to be at. And when we talk about his trade war with China and tariffs, we run into a situation where apparently he started a war without a trade war, without realizing that we are in a desperate need of these rare earth minerals that China has, and those magnets, which we need to put on our rockets and our jets, and that's really important for us to keep our defense against China. So it's kind of a circle there, where we're getting stuff from China to protect ourselves from China. And if China won't give it to us, we're going to be in trouble, because if China attacks, you see. On the other hand, there is Ukraine, which has a huge agreement with United States about rare earth minerals, and all that to have to do is just stop the war, and then Ukraine will be glad to work with the United States and all that stuff. Much easier than working with China, I would think. But nonetheless, those are the options that we see that Trump put himself in a great vulnerability because of rare earth minerals. He really wants that TikTok deal done on terms that are friendly to him. So why would he fight them? Why would he argue with them? And they work with him as being another regional power. So Trump has a lot more reasons to want to get along with China than to break off this relationship and to damage it in any way. So the only thing I didn't talk about is Ukraine and Russia, because really Ukraine is something between Putin and Trump that they need to get this sorted out so that Putin and Trump could make money. But for China and United States, they have plenty to discuss, which in a way is really terrible, because if they don't bring up Ukraine, they don't bring up Russian aggression, that sends a signal to China that they can do whatever they want to help Russia, or for that matter, Ukraine, pretty much, because it's nothing that concerns the United States. Does it send a message of weakness? Yes, it does.
Yuri, it's a pity, but you have what you have. Today's maybe something will change in nearest future. We hope.
I keep thinking that the bad news is the news is not good, but the good news is there's a lot of news. So let's stick to that.
Agree.